It's been a very long time since I've done one of these, so I thought I'd go back and try and get the last few classic figures reviewed in time for Billy Hartnell and Pat Troughton's release. So that means that once this lot are out of the way, I can then go straight on to review them and the rest of the San Diego Comic-Con 2009 exclusives without having to worry about figures that I've missed. So today I'm looking at a Zygon, as you can see. So I'll just give you a bit of backstory on this figure actually. The figure was originally going to be called Broton the Zygon Warlord, because that's who it is. It's Broton. It's not just a generic Zygon, but Character Options they have advertised him as just being a Zygon. The reason being, I suppose, is just because, well, I think they must have thought that if they just sell it as a Zygon, more people will think, oh, sort of like an army builder figure. But it isn't really. It's just one Zygon. It's just Broton. Played by, is it John Woodnut? I'm not sure. After someone can clear that up for me. Well, I'll just very quickly go through the articulation. No head articulation. Articulation at the shoulders. They do a 360 on either side. You've got articulation at the elbows. And you've got articulation that do a 360 at the wrists, at the hips, at the knees. As you can hear, all very stiff. 360 degree turn at the ankles, and the waist can also turn slightly, but as I say, mine's extremely stiff, but it can do it. So, very basic articulation for this figure. Not sure why, to be totally honest. Obviously, the head, no articulation, well, that's fair enough. The actors couldn't turn their heads because the costumes wouldn't allow it. So that's okay, there's a proper reason behind that. But I'm not sure why the arms don't have articulation there at the bicep. I mean, they could have done it. I don't see why it wouldn't have worked. And I don't see why they didn't have it at the thighs either. So, bit odd, but never mind. And I'll just talk you through some of the very good details, because this figure is brilliant. It's a perfect recreation of a excellent monster. I mean, it's a fantastic design, and it's a shame that the Zygons have only been used once, because, I mean, they look great, and the figure also looks really good. So, the head is all one big thick piece, just sort of glued to the torso. As you can see, there's the sort of split around there. The head is excellent. I mean, you can see the veins that have been sculpted on. They are all very intricate, and the face is excellent. I mean, they've captured. I mean, I know it's very difficult to capture anyone's likeness, to be totally honest, when they're covered in all this rubber, but it looks just like the actor. It's fantastic. The eye. It is the eyes, and of course you've got these bits on the back. These sort of ridges. They've all been sculpted, and they follow all the way down the back here, and down the front. And of course he has the sort of suction cups on the head as well, and they all run down the back and on the sides. One thing I am slightly disappointed with, I mean, it's still a great figure, is that it's quite obvious it's a separate piece of rubber, because you can see the line of the sort of rubber piece of the suction cups. And although they've tried to paint it in order to disguise it, it's still very straight, and it's still quite obvious, which is a bit disappointing. It's not so bad on the sides here. It's just at the front it seems quite obvious that it's a separate piece of rubber rather than being all one part. More veins, more ridges all sculpted on. fantastic detail here with the smaller suction cups. Excellent. I mean, look at that. It's excellent. And they go across onto the shoulders, round to the back. So it's really, really good. Then you have the ones down the middle. And then this top one has a silver piece in it. Why is that? Well, that is actually the microphone that was attached to the costume of the actor. Because obviously they spoke in that whispery voice. So that whisper had to be boosted. And the microphone was placed there. Why did Character Options keep that in? Well, they said that they thought it was pretty cool. It looked quite sci-fi. And, I mean, all the pictures of him still have it. So, I think that's why they decided to keep it. Because they just thought it looked good. And at the waist, again, you have this really good suction cup detailing. And just like the costume, it is like a shirt. Because this bit is like a separate rubber piece. And in the story, when you see the Zygon move or fall over, sometimes you see that bit sort of flap around. So it is very, very accurate to the actual costume itself. And you have the suction cups going down the sides and a few more ridges. And then the feet, which are again very detailed, lots of grooves and things and protruding parts. And that's very good. Another cool thing about this figure, which I think's really nice, is that the fact that it has creases round by the knees, going down there, and all sort of round by the thighs, and very much so around the back here and on the legs. So what's that meant to be? Is that meant to be that the Zygons have got rather flabby, creasy skin on the back of their legs? Or are Character Options just trying to show it's part of a costume? Well, obviously it's just part of the costume. And it's sort of similar to the Sea Devil figure in that respect, because the Sea Devil also had that sort of creased effect, as if it were a rubber suit that some guy was wearing. Now this figure also comes with a very tiny accessory. Oh, one thing I did forget to mention was the hands. So I'll just show you that. Again, suction cups, veins protruding, but the fingers are great, because I mean, even they have suction cupped fingers on each hand. But, back to the accessory that the Zygon has. It's very tiny, and it's the Scarison control device, which the Doctor has stuck to his hand in Terror of the Zygons for a little while, whilst being chased by the Scarison. And it's nice that they included it, because obviously the Zygons don't really have much in the way of an accessory to give them, apart from this. It's very tiny. I mean, you can see in my hands that it's just very small, very easy to get lost if you're not careful. So I just always leave it in his hand when it's displayed. A very good figure. Excellent. If you haven't got this figure, go out and get it while you still can. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.